Excuse all the noise you hear in the background, dogs barking, cars passing by, whatever noises you hear. But as a fight fan, I have to say that I want Tony Ferguson to retire and call it a career. I mean, he has nothing else to prove. And I'm not saying this in any disrespectful way or manner or whatnot, but losing to Patty Pimblett, Patty Pimblett, not Pably, Scott, sorry. Losing to Patty Pimblett and that being his seventh loss in a row, I want him to just retire. This is a young man's game. Granted, he's not old age-wise because I believe he's like 40 or in his early 40s or whatnot. But according to the fight game, he's an old man in a young man's game. And through his undefeated like run that he had like years ago, again, people was afraid to fight this guy. Again, the boogeyman, you know, any dude that goes around and calls himself that, that's definitely somebody I would not want to step toe to toe with. Two things that suck though about his career, well, from the obvious of him, losing seven in a row. One, we never got to see him and Khabib Nurmagomedov go at it in the cage. That is like the most cursed fight in history. 5 to 6 times this was supposed to have happened, but it didn't happen. And number two, it's a damn shame that he was only recognized as the UFC's interim lightweight champion. And that's one thing about the UFC that kind of pissed me off was the fact that, and no disrespect to Conor McGregor either, but how you going to have a guy be a double champ but hold up 2 divisions at that time? You could at least strip Conor of that belt and could have had Tony and Kevin Lee fight for the vacant belt instead of making an interim title for him. To me, that's a slap in the face to this man who has, again, done a lot for this damn sport. But in 2020, when he lost to Justin Gaethje, oh, and by the way, before I continue that, that's the third thing, too, that kind of sucks that we got a fan fight between him and Justin Gaethje. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic and the world being on lockdown in 2020, they had to fight in an empty arena. It was a good fight nonetheless, but that's when Justin Gaethje took away that aura of invincibility that Tony had. And then after that, he just kept losing and losing and losing and losing. And I'm like, hopefully he'll get it back. Even though he had the legendary and great David Goggins as his trainer, it still wasn't enough for him to secure a victory against Pimblett. But again, like I said earlier, no disrespect, I want the man to just call it a career because he's going down the same path that Anderson Silva and BJ Penn went down before they left the UFC. Yeah, you're still a legend. Nothing wrong with walking away, but you're just tarnishing your record by taking fight after fight after fight and just losing. And there's no shame in just walking off and going into the sunset. Again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but he's done enough for the sport. And hopefully, he just goes. He just leaves. Because he already has his spot secured in the Hall of Fame. And if the UFC doesn't put him in the Hall of Fame, that's another slap to his face. So, just my thoughts. Ferguson just needs to retire. Just saying.